Thanks, Aiden. All right. So guys, up to this point, the only types of equations, somebody's humming, up to this point, the only types of equations that I have given you, or Nate has given you, are equations that have only one variable. Only one variable. And if you have only one variable, all you need is one equation to solve for that variable. Here we go. For example, x plus 2 equals 10. I can solve that. There is one answer. There is absolutely one answer for x. I know what x is. What is x?
8.
It's 8. Everybody agree with me?
Yes.
Could it be 9?
No, couldn't
No.
be 9.
Could it be 7?
No.
It can't be anything other than 8. Could it be 8.1?
No.
No, it's got to be 8, right? So when there's one variable and an equation, there is only one answer. Now, when we start moving into equations that have two variables, y equals, for example, well, I'll just do this. Y is equal to
9.
two variables. So we'll say x plus 1. So that's very interesting. Suddenly, what is x? What is x? Figure it out for me. Come on, what is it?
Any number you want it to be.
It's 8.
Well,
As
then
long
what's
as it
y?
equals- You can make it to any number you want it to be as long as the equation becomes true. Y is 1.
So is there one answer for x?
No.
Is there one answer for y?
Yes.
No.
Is there two answers for x? Are there?
Possibly. Well, yes.
How many answers are there for x?
Infinite times.
Infinite number. So instead of a point, when I solve for one variable, I get a point, an actual one answer, right? In this case, I have multiple points. I have an infinite number of points. How do I graph that? I can't just put a dot on a graph, right? When I had this, x plus 2 equals 10, and we figured out by subtracting 2 that x was equal to 8, well then, the only way to graph that is on a number line. Here's 0, and I go over 8, here's 8, and I put a dot there. And that's as far as I can go. As soon as I move into two variables, I have moved from a one-dimensional graph to a two-dimensional graph, right? So suddenly, to graph this, I have to have an x-axis and a y-axis. Because not only do I have to go that way, I have to fly. I have to walk and I have to fly, right? And so, my answer though will be a bunch of little dots that go on forever and ever and ever. And if I connect those dots, I get a straight line. Does that make sense? Right? Because there's always more answers. So that's the beauty of this coordinate plane that we talked about yesterday. You already know how to plot the points. And so what we're going to do now, when you see a straight line equation, straight line equations would be in the form of y equals mx plus b. That's what we're going to deal with right now. And that there are other straight line equations too. Remember I taught you those three useful ways of writing equations? I said there was y equals mx plus b. That's the slope intercept.
You never taught us this, Gary.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. No, you
Oh, I only taught some of you.
No,
Sure,
you didn't
no.
teach. You didn't teach it to any of us.
I
But
did.
we know it. I have
Yeah,
no
but I
idea.
was-
You never taught it to
Okay.
any of us.
Well, forget it. Okay. Oh, you're right. I guess I haven't taught this to you. Y equals mx plus. That's 8th grade, I guess. But I guess I was just doing a review the other day for the interview. Sorry. So, anyways, this is a very famous formula. Y equals mx plus b. That is actually called the slope intercept formula. I'm not going to go into detail on this though today. Well, form. I'll just say form. Slope intercept form of writing a straight line equation. That's it. Now, what we do to graph these is one way. There are many ways. There's some ways. There's the T-chart way, which we're going to work on today. And there's other ways where you can graph these in literally 4 seconds. And you want to learn the 4 seconds instead of the T-chart?
Yes.
No way.
I wanna do
Sorry.
the T-chart.
Once you master the T-chart, then I'll show you the 4-second way. All right? So a T-chart is, remember the coordinate points? There's an X, and then a comma and a Y. A T-chart's set up the same way, only it's a T with the X over here, just like it would be in the point, and the Y over here. So you have a T, all right? So you have a T-chart like this, or T, like this, and then you put the X here, and you put the Y here, okay?
And then you graph.
And then you have to choose something for X.
22.
21.
5. Gary.
Now-
21. Choose 73.
Wondering what to say. Now, when you choose the X's, you choose the X's. It could be any number in the universe. Now,
Oh, that's
But-
better than
but
47.
but when you do that, it makes it really hard to graph, right? Because then you have to have a very large graph, right? So the idea is to choose 3 points, 3 X's that are relatively easy. And as long as you know they're straight lines, as long as they're in this y equals mx plus b, in other words, there's a number in front of the x, and there's a plus b or a minus b, whatever,
What?
right? There is a number in front of the x. What is it?
3.
Oh,
One.
I know.
Right.
It's 1.
1, right? Whenever you don't see a number in front of the x, there is a number. It's 1, right? So there is a number. So this is in the same format here. I know this is a straight line.
So can we make x1?
There's no exponents, right, other than 1. See this? See this chart up here? See the top right one? If it had y equals x squared, it would be that shape. But if it's just y equals x, top left, it's going to be a straight line. Y equals x, or y equals x plus 1, or y equals x plus 2, y equals 2x plus 1, 2x plus 2. All those are going to be straight lines, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to choose 3 easy points. The first point I always choose this. Well, almost 90% of the time. This only changes when I have a fraction in this point right here. Jackson, when I have a fraction here, I'll do something different. But most of the time, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so write this down in your notes. All this has to be in your notes. John, you writing them? Write this down. So write this equation, write this T-chart, put a 0, 1, and a 2. And what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to actually write out what my brain is doing, okay? And some of you may need to write it out, and that's fine. And some of you may be pretty good in your brain and can just do it in your brain and give the right answer. But if x is 0, what is y? Y would equal 0. Instead of x, I write the 0. You see what I'm doing? I'm replacing the x with the 0. 0 plus 1. So what's y? 1. Beautiful. All right, if y is 1, if x is 1, sorry. Y is equal to 1 plus 1. Okay, what's that? 2. Okay, and if x is 2, y is equal to 2 plus 1, which is 3. Okay, I have now completed my T-chart. Now what I need to do is take this T-chart and go graph it. Okay, now but in order to graph, I need to have coordinate points, right? Remember those things with the parentheses?
So it's 0, 1.
Technically, these are those points, but they don't have the parentheses, so what? I don't rewrite them because look, they're in the perfect order. I've got my x and my y, x comma y. See what I mean? So I can just say 0 comma 1 is my first point. So I will go graph this. So I'm going to draw my graph.
Do we have to draw a graph?
Yes, definitely draw a graph in your notebook.
Graphs are mean.
Notes are so important, guys. In high school, I promise you, if you don't learn to take good notes now, you will fail. I mean, there's really, honestly, I hate to say that, but you will probably fail your math class. You'll have to retake it again. You may have to come back during summer and take it. But math teachers go pretty fast in high school, faster than I do, because they are required to get through a 1,000-page textbook in 1 year, right? And their job is on the line. They've got a lot of kids. They're teaching 100 kids. They go really fast. And if you don't take notes and you get lost, if you don't have a good book, or if you're not good at reading the book and understanding the book on your own, then you better get a tutor or else you're going to fail. It's just that, it's that simple. The notes are absolutely essential. Good note taking. You take notes, right? We're gonna,
No, I don't have my notebook.
so get a piece of paper. You take notes no matter what. If you don't have your notebook, tough. You just take a piece of paper and you write it down. And then you copy it into your notebook that night. It means you have extra homework, right? You always take notes. So now that you've got your graph, remember this is my y-axis, and this is my x-axis, right? So my point is 0, 1. So I always start at 0, 0, right? And it says I go to the right, I walk 0 places, so I don't go anywhere to the right or left, right? And it says I rise 1, so I rise 1 and put a dot. Okay? So my next one is 1, 2. So I start at 0, 0, I go to the right 1, I walk 1, and I fly 2. So up here, 2. And then my next one is 2. Am I going too fast?
No, I've already.
Okay, 2, 3. So I start at 0, 0, I walk 2, 1, 2, and I rise 3. I know some of you already know how to do this. Am I right? Yeah. And so I could keep going if I wanted. I could keep adding lots of these. Technically, how many points do I need to draw a straight line?
2.
Is that right? Just 2 points, right?
Yeah.
Why on earth, Jackson, this is really important, why on earth would I have 3 points instead of 2 points in my T-chart? Okay, Zane.
See if the line curves.
See if what?
See if the line curves. If you're using exponents like it's there, the line curves.
Right, but let's say I know it's a straight line. I know this is a straight line. I don't even have to graph it to know it's a straight line. Because I know this form, it's y equals mx plus b. That's what it's written in. I know it's a straight line. Why would I, since I know it's a straight line, why not just do 2 points? Dee Dee.
Because if you do 2 points, it's automatically going to be a straight line.
Yeah, it's
So-
always going to be a straight line if you draw a line between 2 points.
So if you have 3, you can really tell if you're doing it right.
All right, so let's say this one. Let's say I went like this. Over 2, up 1. Right? Or I said up 1 over 2. I know this is a straight line, but it's not a straight line. I can't get a straight line through those 3 dots. I know. What do I know?
If you didn't use the same equation.
I know that one of these 3 points is wrong. Right? So I have to go back to the drawing board and figure out which one is wrong so that I can get it right. So then I know I got it right. So I know I'm going to get 100 on the test. Does that make sense? You get it? You know you're right if you get all 3 of them in the same same line. So now you just draw your line, and your line is that, and you put arrows on the end. Why would I put arrows on the end of my line? So John.
Because it can go infinite.
It goes forever, right? There is nothing that x cannot be. X could be, infinite. And y would then be infinite and 1, right?
Or you could do.
S could be 2 times infinite. And then y would be 2 infinite and 1. I don't
2
know.
infinite.
Can't use
X is infinite minus 1, so X is infinite, and
Infinite.
Y is infinite.
Right. All right, so let's do something slightly harder. Is that okay?
No.
Fist of 5 on this. How many people understand this? I just want to know if we're all okay. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So let's try another one. It's not going to be much harder, but it's going to be a little harder. So if you want to use the same graph, you can. Then you'd have to, I don't know, I don't think it'd be a good idea. I think you should just draw another graph.
You can't keep doing this to us, Gary. Just because you can erase doesn't mean we can't.
So, yeah, I know. So just draw another graph. And then this is what we're going to graph this time. Y equals 2x minus 4. All right, 2x minus 4.
Gary, hold on.
So, all right, hold on. I'm going to let you guys draw your graph for a second. I will entertain in the camera. Okay? And then I should bring my juggling balls. Right? Watch this. Watch this. Look at that.
Oh my god, you're juggling one ball here.
Okay.
So fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
There's one
See,
over
it
here.
looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
skilled of a math
What?
teacher we have.
Oh, there's two. Cool. I'll have to remember that.
What's
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably a shot put, right?
What is Gary remembering?
Right? Okay. What?
What are you remembering?
I have to remember that there's another ball up there. And I would have two balls to juggle. Next time I need to,
But you're a
kill the
one
time.
ball juggler.
Okay, so now I've got my T-chart here drawn, and I'm ready to do this. I know, what are my X's that I'm gonna choose?
0,
0, what else?
1,
0, 1,
4.
and 2. Pretty much always for straight lines, just do that, okay? 0, 1, and 2. With the exception if that's a fraction, but I'm not teaching that today. Okay, we're just gonna do it without the fractions for now. So 0, 1, and 2. So, I know, let's see, I just realized I ran out of, I didn't leave myself space. So, I'll do it over here. So if x is 0, I'm gonna replace that x for 0. Y is equal to 2 times 0 minus 4. What's y?
-4.
Everybody agree? Jackson, you agree? Bella, you agree?
Yeah.
-4? Okay, so -4. Alright, if x is 1, I'm going to replace that x with 1. Y is equal to 2 times 1 minus 4. Y is equal to 2 times 1, which is 2, minus 4. What is 2 minus 4?
-2.
-2. Okay, let me back up.
Wait, no, I get it.
You get it? You understand? I know it's sometimes hard when you're taking notes. That's why it's important to develop the skill of taking notes. It's really hard because the teacher just sort of keeps going, right?
Wait, why would you do y equals 2 minus...
Because I shouldn't have done that. I should have shown you what I did. 2 times 1, 2 times x. X is 1. 2 times 1 is 2, right? So 2 times 1 minus 4 is the same as 2 minus 4, which is equal to -2. You follow that? And then the next one, when x is 2, I'm going to replace that x with a 2. So it's going to be y equals 2 times 2 minus 4. So that's 4 minus 4, which is 0.
Oh.
You with me? Fist to 5, just so I know. Everybody's with me? Skylar gives me a fist. Okay.
Gary!
Okay.
It's a 5. Yeah, it's 5.
Okay, great, yes. Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Roman numeral 5. Okay, so now I'm going to plot it. So here we go. 0, -4. Stay focused, guys. I'm going to give well, we'll see. 0, I've started 0, 0. And it says I don't walk anywhere. My x is 0. But I do fly downwards. I go -4. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put a dot. Then it says 1, -2. So I start at 0, 0, and I go 1, -2, and I put a dot.
Then you go over to,
And then I do 2, 0. So I start at 0, 0. I go 2, 0.
No! No, Gary's tricking us on purpose. Gary, you did stuff wrong. Stop it.
No, I
Gary, stop
didn't.
it. Yes,
How
you
would you
did.
know? How would you know I did something wrong?
Because you're doing order.
It's in a triangle, not a line.
Oh my God, I have to draw a straight line. So one of these is wrong. Oh no.
Triangle is made of straight lines, I guess.
So which one is wrong?
The middle one, the second one.
This one? Okay, let's try it again. I start at 0, 0, and I go 1, -2. Oh,
You're so
this
smart,
one
Gary.
is wrong, right?
Gary, we attention.
I'm impressed. And then I draw my line and I put my arrows. I put my arrows. Those 3 points are really valuable, guys.
That was really weird.
All right, I think I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to just give you the homework and you can get started, okay?
Gary, I forgot to close some homework.
One more.
This line is all curvy.
Can I erase? Can I erase, guys?
Yes,
Okay, here we go. Draw another graph, quick. One more graph.
Need to bless you.
Is Joseph gonna be here for his own birthday?
So what? So what?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Joseph's birthday is on
Okay, guys.
Saturday.
Guys, this is still a lecture, so we aren't talking about birthdays. We're going for a new equation. Here we go. Y is equal to negative negative 5x minus 10. Negative 5x minus 10.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of negatives, isn't it, Gary?
Rawr. I have no idea, but what am I going to choose for my x? 0 is always your easiest choice to start with, 1 and 2. Okay. So, if I do this, I've got y is equal to negative 5 times 0. What's that?
0.
0. And then minus 10, what's that?
Negative 10.
Negative 10, right? All right, so that's always the easiest one. Notice the pattern. Have you guys noticed this yet? When you're in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, b in this case is a negative 10. What's the pattern you're seeing? When b. What's the pattern when you see when x is?
The y up there, no, up,
Guys, listen.
in the first y, the y is like the place.
It's always that number.
Yeah,
Look at that.
And that
It's
you
always that number right there.
And then you go over 5 and up 1 every time, or over 2 up 1, or over 1 up 1. Because
Okay.
you always go over, or over negative 5, but you
Cool.
always go over the number for the x.
You always go over the number before the x.
You always fly that amount. You always
well-
walk that amount before you go up. And then you go up.
Maybe. That's a possibility. We'll explore that, but we'll probably explore that tomorrow. That's a good thought. That's a good thought. But hold it. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. So now, if x is 1, y is equal to negative 5 times 1 minus 10. I've got a negative 5 and I've got a negative 10. Ooh.
It makes negative 15.
Negative 15, right? Negative 5, negative 10 more, negative 15.
How is it negative 15?
Because it's negative 5 times 1 is negative 5.
Oh, it's negative.
3.
So guys, right? You see that? Negative 5 minus 10 more. You're adding the numbers. Remember, if the sign, when you're adding and subtracting, if the signs are the same, you keep the sign. Remember this rule? Keep the sign and you add the numbers, right? So it's going to be negative 15. And then let's try this one. Y is equal to negative 5 times 2 in this case, minus 10. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10 minus 10, negative 20, right? Oh boy, now how would I graph this?
Oh no. Gary, how could you?
All right, Issa.
You could just do like a line going down, and then instead of just starting like a little tiny dash between these, you could just do like go down with like just empty, and then just like a dash and a negative 15.
So you're saying do like a little squiggly thing like that?
No, just like the line down, like the line, like line down.
Oh,
You can change
this you mean?
Yeah, like you can change the numbers that are on the dashes.
So guys, so many people are talking right now. This is not okay. This is a lecture. So, because Believe me, you guys are not gonna know how to do this. A lot of you are not gonna, this is not as easy. This is a little tricky. You've gotta figure out how you're gonna graph this. Now, yeah, you could have 20, you could just do negative 20, you know, lines. You could keep going down negative 20 lines as long as you have enough room. But what if you don't have enough room?
No, it's big.
Maybe,
Oh, it's super tiny.
maybe you could go by
By
5. Okay, let's do that. Let's do negative 5, negative 10, negative 15.
1 and 2.
And then for the, what about for the x though? So do I have to do negative 5?
Yes.
Technically, I could actually do 1. I could make this 1, this 2, this 3 if I want. That is how, this is how business and others, this is how anybody, it doesn't matter whether it's business or anything else. I'm not saying, I'm not poo-pooing business. But this is how people will graph things that will make data look different than it actually is. It'll make data look like it's saying something it's not. It will make, like sometimes I saw an ad once where Coca-Cola, I think it was Pepsi-Cola, was saying how much more, look at how much more. They had this huge difference between Coke was way down here and Pepsi was way up here, right? And and they had, and it turned out that the difference was like 10 people, right? But it was like 2 million and 10. 2 million here and 2 million and 10 here. And they made it look like Pepsi is way more popular than Coke.
They do like
10
0.5.
people.
Yeah, but they just
Right?
really like
Out of millions,
They
right?
do like 0.5 or something.
They didn't lie.
So sometimes this kind of graphing can be deceiving. So it's very important to label. If you're going to do a different number, it's very important to label to at least be fair and show the audience what you're doing. So here we go. 0, negative 10. 0, I don't go anywhere. I start at 0, 0, and I go negative 10, I put a dot.
Crazy.
And then 1, negative 15. I go over 1, I go down 15, and I put a dot.
And then you go down to the 2
And then I've got to do a negative 20 here, don't I? Okay, so 2, I could go from 0, 0, I could go over 2 and down negative 20. It looks like we have a straight line. Houston, we have a takeoff.
We have
Okay.
We have a going.
All right, we've got it.
We have graph going.
There we go. So fist of 5. Do you guys understand this? All right.
Wow, he's